Alright, I believe we are officially live. So, last time we finished up our turbo motor factory, and it sure is making turbo motors. So this time I think we are gonna start making progress towards finishing the phase. I believe we should be able to get the last hub upgrade and then actually start making all the project parts. So let's hop into this hypertube and off we go. I have once again forgotten to research how to make hypertube cannons, so we're just gonna take this the old-fashioned way. And off we go. So yeah, while we hypertube travel, for this world, I've mostly been using the logic of producing everything from raw resources, like in one particular location. So my turbo motor factory, for example, has nothing to do with my motor factory. Those are two separate things, despite the fact that I use motors to create turbo motors. The motors that I use to create turbo motors are created on site for the turbo motor factory, and the motors I use to create motors are just elsewhere. Now, I've sort of broken that rule already for cooling systems, because those are also used in turbo motors, and I sort of cheated and pulled some of them off for turbo motors, but we're just not going to think about that. And the other place I break that rule is for project parts. So project parts pretty much require just like everything all the time, super complicated. So I'm basically just pulling from boxes for those. So I have a box of whatever, steel, so whenever I need a project part that involves steel, I pull from that box. Now, at this point though, we are getting to the point where project parts require large amounts of resources, like a single storage container of steel is no longer enough to make all the project parts I need. So I think what I'm going to do there is for those that require like mass quantities of something, I will be basically using drones to automate the movement. Alright. Get right into phase 2 of the hypertube. So basically, give the steel example. Rather than like personally lug steel back and forth 5 times, I'm just gonna set up a drone port to take the steel in, and then the drone port can lug the steel back and forth 5 times until it's done. And so that should save me the trouble, but I'm not going to be using that steel for some other purpose that needs steel. Just the one thing. Alright, and it looks like we are just about back. Hypertubes. So convenient. Alright. Now let's start throwing this stuff in. Need to grab the quick wire. Quick wire is going to be the limiting factor here. Let's see here. Fused modular frames. Need 100 of those. Need 50 turbo motors. And what was the other thing? Cooling systems. Need 200 of those. So we chuck all of those in. And then we're going to have to grab another multiple stacks of quick wire, which, if I recall correctly, is over here. So let's head on through another hypertube. So we're unlocking particle enrichment. I don't think there's that much to even do in there. Like, there's copper powder, which is only for a project part. So Let's head on over. And I think if we keep on heading this way, I have not visited the Caterium setup in a very long time. I think it's in here under this. What do you even call that? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure the quick wire is under it. It's like a plateau, but hollow. Alright. And we need 1500 quick wire, which we now have. Let's go. Back to the hub. I'm pretty sure I said at some point I was going to upgrade dimensional storage, which would have also more or less solved this problem. But I didn't, so it's not much of a journey. This is pretty close anyway. So one of the big things that I never did in this game that I did in my previous one is, in my previous one I had massive train network above the map, which meant basically the hypertubes were a lot more direct because they didn't have to like dodge around terrain and stuff. Just go straight-ish. In this one, obviously, we're going up and down and around corners, and I think my next world I'm probably going to have the train network above the map again, and that'll be nice to have. But it's a bit early to think about the next world. So let's send off particle enrichment.
Milestone reached. Project part number
which
9,
gets us
nuclear pasta, can be created in the particle accelerator. The
a whole bunch
accelerator
of stuff.
has vast and fluctuating power demands, depending on the recipe, so will need careful integration with your factory. Fix-It does not waste, so nuclear waste can be refined by the particle accelerator into plutonium for reuse in the nuclear power plant. Fun fact, Fix-It psychologists suggest factory designs reflect the minds of their creators in unexpected ways. On an unrelated note, your infrastructural choices have been interesting.
Alright. Well, we got that. Actually, what's the particle accelerator even made of? All stuff that I have. Cool. Well, now let's head over here. This is the... Did I ever take the summer sloops out of these? No, I apparently did not. So that's another 4 free summer sloops. Alright. So I need to work out some recipes and do some math. So we have, what are these things even called? Project parse. Assembly directory system is 2 adaptive control units and 1 supercomputer, and I need 500 of them. So with sloops, that will be 500 ACU, 250 supercomputer. And then the next thing, where on earth are these project parts? Oh, magnetic field generators is, I also need 500 of these, and they are 5 to 2, so I need to run 250 batches times 5 would be, well no, it's actually 5 to 4, right? Because we're slooping it. No, well, let's just do it. So 250 batches times 5 versatile frameworks. A batch is 1,250 versatile frameworks. But we have summer sloops, so it'll actually be half of that. So half of 1250 is 625 versatile frameworks. And the electromagnetic control rods are something I haven't actually made, actually. And those are 1-to-1, so they'll be 1-to-2, so I need 250 ECR. Next up, we have thermal propulsion rocket, which is 5-to-2. I only need 250 of these. So that's 125 batches, which is 125 batches of 5 is 125, 250, 625, but divided by 2 because of the summer sloops, so it'd be like 313. What are these engines? I can't even remember what those are called. I think like modular engines or something. And then also 2 turbo motors, which is 2-to-2, so it would be 125 turbo motors. 6-to-2 cooling systems. So that would be 3 times as many as turbo motors, so 375 cooling systems and 125 fused frames. And then nuclear pasta. Nuclear pasta is 200-to-1 copper powder. And I need 100 of them. So that's 20,000 to 1. So with summer sloops is 10,000 copper powder. And 50 PCC. All right. Let's just do these one at a time. So ACU is it not ACU? What is it? Adaptive control unit. Oh gosh, there's so many intermediary steps here. So the adaptive control unit is 5 automated wiring, which is, I need 500, which means I need 250, which means I need 1250 automated wiring, I think. And then 1250 circuit boards. And I don't think I actually have a standalone circuit board factory. And 250 HMF. And 500 computers. Okay. And then automated wiring. is a stator and 20 cables. So, if I need 500... Hang on, wait. If I need 1250 automated wiring, then I need half of that for stators, which would be 625 stators, and 1250, like 10,000 cables. So it would be 20 to 2. So that's just 10 to 1, which means 12,500 cables. It's a perfectly normal amount of cables. Alright, so that is all that is needed for the first thing. Just, casual 12,000 cables. Actually, this is my automated wiring setup from last time. So that's already present. And is this the adaptive control unit setup from last time? So that's already present. Alright, cool. So let's turn that off. Put summer sloops in there, and I guess actually put summer sloops in there as well and turn it on. So, we need cables by the bucket load. Cables are right here, fortunately. Wait, no, not that box. That would have been catastrophic. This box is for stators. This box over here is for cables. And that will make this. And now we just have to pretty much just like a full inventory. So if it's 12,500 cables for this, then that is how many stacks? A stack is like 200. So 5 stacks is 1,000. So 50 stacks is 10,000. Alright, well, that's going to take a while. So let's clear all this junk out of my inventory. Try to get this entire box out in one go. I don't need those. Don't need those. Those. So this is 8, so 1,600. Alright, well, let's start taking them so that it can start producing. Alright, now we run over here. And we fill up this box with cables. So that's, how many did I say that was? That's 800, 1,600, 3,200, 4,800. Well, that's a start. And then we have to take these and put them in a box instead of piping them into the elevator. And that's true of all of these. So let's get a storage container for that. And the next thing we're going to need to worry about is this. Alright, that's something different. So this is the box with the stators in it. We're going to need to finish that one off. But the next thing, we're going to need to make a circuit board factory, because I need over 1,000 circuit boards, and I am fairly certain I currently just have straight up 0. What was I doing? Right, I was going to go get stators. So that is not one of these. Where are stators? Oh right, stators are steel product. In that case, it's going to be easier to just pull them out. Dimensional storage. So I have 200 in there currently. This will be another 200. Right, these obviously have to go into this box. So that's 400. That's 500. So it'll add up to enough. But yeah, so now we need... Let's get the heavy modular frames and computers in, I guess. While we're here. May as well. Are either of these boxes dedicated? No. Heavy modular frames there. Computers there. Alright. Circuit board is potentially pure oil based. So let's find a spare oil patch up there and turn it into a circuit board factory real quick. I'm not going to think too hard about it. I'm just going to get petroleum coke and rubber using like the simplest recipes available. Actually, I do not have a circuit board factory. So I head over here to the power plant, and there's an unused oil deposit literally just like down here somewhere. There it is. Hello, crude oil impure. Oil extractor. Let's get a... No, why did you do that? Don't do that. Let's get a foundation. Whatever. Production refinery. Pipe goes in there. Power. Where is the power? Alright. You get upgraded. And bring power down. And into the refinery. And into the extractor. So this will be set to make rubber and heavy oil. And then we can put another refinery, which is set to petroleum coke. That's what it was, right? Petroleum coke and rubber, yes. And then we have an assembler, which goes like that, and like that. And electrode circuit board. Are the ratios right? No, almost certainly not. But it's probably enough. 20 rubber a minute there, using 20 rubber a minute there. 20 heavy oil residue a minute there. We'll make 60. So I guess we set that to 50%. And then 60 petroleum coke a minute will be more than enough. So I need a smart splitter to a sink. Left is overflow. Please. I just want to build a sink. Should I blow up these trees and stuff to make space? And sink. And power on the sink. And circuit board. 5 per minute. Beautiful. And I guess we should dimensional storage it, which needs SAM fluctuators, which I don't have. Imagine how much time I would have saved if I just automated SAM fluctuators at any point, which I could do very easily with drones. Oh well. There we go. We now have circuit boards being dimensionally stored and regularly stored. So that problem solved. Now we can head back here. I didn't check if that oil patch was actually sufficient. I'm just going to assume that it is. So I'll have to come back there to actually pick up a lot of circuit boards. Alright, so what's going on here? This is still cooking along with the automated wiring. And I need to put some circuit boards in there just to make space. They're being produced at like 5 a minute, which is not quick. Probably should have slooped the circuit board production. That would have been smart. But oh well. The good news is I have this box here. So let's see here. I believe we put 100 each of computers and heavy modular frames in, so let's get another 100 each. Computers there, heavy modular frames there, and another 50 each, and they'll be done. And I should probably start. I'll grab some supercomputers now. So this is the adaptive control unit. Yeah, we'll just have them in a box. That's fine. I think I'll do final assembly like closer to all at once. So circuit boards are the limiting factor. And they're also by far the slowest thing. So let's just bring in circuit boards via drone. So we are going to need a drone port here. And put a drone in it. Power it on. Where's the power poles for this? Power it on. Say you are elevator circuit board supplier, and we'll worry about it later. For now, throw some packaged fuel in there. And I guess we also need a second drone port somewhere. It may as well be here, since there's probably going to be other drones needed here, and I can fuel them all from this. So this will be elevator fuel supplier. Destination will be fuel source. And then we just give it a drone, power it on, and take its output into that fuel input. Ooh, got a bot immediately. That's fun. Alright, so now that is all set up, probably correctly, I will head over here and set a drone port at the circuit boards so that they can just come over naturally and I don't have to make this run back and forth or constantly be like camping the dimensional storage. This is it down here. Alright. And we get a nice big flat space. And then we switch to this hotbar. And we stick down that. Then we switch to this hotbar. Put a smart splitter in. Feed it to input. We go center overflow left any. And we call this circuit board supplier. We power it on. It's actually supposed to be called circuit board source. I'm so glad that I have the most confusing naming things ever. Alright, let's go. I think we can set this to that. And as long as we just don't give this a drone, it'll work. Alright, so now that should be operational and supplying us with circuit boards so we don't have to worry about it. Probably going to do the same thing with cables because I need a preposterous number of those. I don't think they're being produced that much faster, honestly. Alright, now we fly over here, and is this working? Yes, the drone seems to have left. Alright, and which of these was the circuit board? This one. Alright, so then we take this output and we loop it around into there, get rid of the crafting bench, and we put just a couple more computers and heavy modular frames in. Having a bit spare, never hurt anyone, I suppose. Alright, computers, check. Or 500 computers, okay. I thought it was 250 of each. Heavy modular frames, check. Computers, minus, alright, 300. What? Please. Now I need to stop back at cables to figure out what is going on there, and hopefully it is not very slow. So this is 30 cables a minute. I'm going to sloop that because it's going to take forever otherwise. So now I mean, it's literally right over there. Yeah, I mean, it is literally like 5 feet away. Is this drone network really worth it? I'm going to say yes, just because. Alright, so then that goes in there. This is cable source. And it's powered on. And then we run along over here. And surface is too uneven. Alright, we did manage to place it in a slightly scuffed location. And we power it on. We say elevator cable supplier, we give it a starter fuel, we tell it to go to cable source, and we give it a drone. And we also need this to be a splitter so that our fuel can be successfully provided to both of them. Oh, I never gave the fuel supplier the fuel. That's important. There you go. I don't think that this is necessary. I think this is supposed to go all the way over there. Alright. We need to get that around back here and into the fuel. So then this is the cable source. The cables are going to be coming out of here. And they go up and over. And then into that box. Alright, so we have probably enough stators. I'll throw in another 200 and then it'll definitely be enough. So we have enough stators. We have a supply of cables, which will give us enough automated wiring. We have a supply of circuit boards, which are, yes, coming in. And I'm fine with that having not enough fuel because it's not going to be full anyway. So that looks like the cable supplier. Somewhere around here will be the fuel supplier. Now let's hop over and sloop the circuit board producers just to get every little bit. Because if we need 1,250 of them at like 5 a minute, that's going to take hours. Alright, so it should be under here. Yeah, it should be this. Alright. So you can be summer slooped. So now you're 10 a minute. And what if we also maximum overcharge you? Can we manage this? That would be 100 petroleum coke a minute, which, let's see, you would need to, first off, how much is this? 60 a minute, and this is using 30 a minute. So that means that this and then bring this also up to 75. So this is the fastest we can use this, which is 50 rubber a minute, which is exactly enough, and 50 heavy oil residue a minute, which is more than enough, actually. Hang on. That's kind of bad. I need to make this up to, what, like 150, probably. So if we make that 150, it'll use all the heavy oil residue that this produces and make a silly amount of petroleum coke, which will be accelerated. So now we're up to 25 circuit boards a minute, which is much, much quicker. It's really quite fast. So 25 circuit boards a minute, that's, let's see, 2.5 times 125. So that'll be like an hour to get to circuit boards. That's perfectly reasonable at that rate. The cables, I probably, did I sloop the cables? I think I did. I can also overclock the cables because there's more copper in that line than is necessary, because it's also feeding like wires and copper sheets and stuff, which aren't going to be running much. Alright, fuel is showing up. Alright, that's kind of ugly, but we don't worry about that. Alright, so we have cables. We have a supply of cables. We have a supply of circuit boards. Once the fuel makes it there, at least. I'll make these belts quicker. Alright, the belts are quicker. It doesn't really matter much, but it'll help a little bit. So now the cable and circuit board supplies are going to be coming in relatively quickly. How much cable are we producing? Is it, I believe it's 60, right? $60 wire a minute for 60 cable a minute. Yep. So that's 30 wire a minute. So at 60 cable a minute, that means 1200, 500 minus 4800 is 7700. 7700 divided by 60 is like 2 hours. That's a lot of hours. Real maximum overclock you. How's power looking? I'm doing a lot of overclocking and overcharging. Power is creeping up, but still nowhere near a concern. So now, if we had 150 wire a minute, we could do that. So let's maximum overclock the wires. And those are Mark III belts for no obvious reason. That's a Mark III belt for a good reason. Now, is the copper production enough to keep up with this? Probably. So now we need to get it out into the drone network. And then we fly over here, pick it up the other side. Alright, which one of you is providing cables? This one? Yes. So this belt needs to be faster. Alright, so that is pretty much all we can do for that. Circuit boards are starting to show up in the boosted numbers. That should work its way through pretty quickly. And then we'll start getting these. And then we'll start getting those. Alright, so I think that is effectively fully automated to the extent that we need it to be. So, with that, I will clear that out. Oh, we need to keep filling the computer storage up. That was the last thing that we needed for this. I think we needed another 200, so there's another 100. 200, 300, 400 and some. 450. We're pretty much there. Just a couple more computers and then that should be good. I can't... I think that... Yeah, so this is 200, 400... No, 100, 200, 300, 400, 410, 450. No, so we do need another 40 or so computers. It should take 40 or so seconds. And let's dump some heavy modular frames in here. Again, just to make sure I didn't miscount, which should be impossible, but it can never hurt to be sure. Alright, so now we have enough computers, we have circuit boards incoming, we have enough heavy modular frames. Alright, so ACU is in production. We can mark that off. And next to this box, which is the ACU box, we'll have the other box for supercomputers, which that's 100. Here's another 100. And 50 more of those, and we will be done with that. And this will take like an hour and a half to finish production, even at this speed. It's just very slow. But the supercomputers will take not much time at all. We just have to wait for them to fill in through the dimensional storage. Alright, 5 more. 8, 9, 50. And that's 250 supercomputers. Alright, so what is next? Versatile frameworks and ECR. What? Oh, ECR is electromagnetic control rods. Alright, so if we need... I have to mark the supercomputers as done. Done. So if we need 625 versatile frameworks, modular frames, that's 1 to 2, which means it would be 313, but it's actually 1 to 4 because I'll be summer slooping it. So instead of 313, it would be 160. Let's go 160 modular frames, and it's 12 to 4 versatile frameworks, which is 3 to 1. So if I need 625 versatile frameworks, I would need 625, 1250, 1875 steel beams. And then the other thing I need are electromagnetic control rods, which I'm not using because I have none of these because I'm not using nuclear power, so I will have to craft these. And this is more stators. So in terms of stators, it is 2 to 2. If I need 250 ECRs, that would be another 125 stators, and 1 to 2, so math, 60, 65 high-speed connectors. That's basically trivial. Put those on the same line to indicate that they're for the same recipe, of course. Alright, so that will be another floor, I guess. Actually, alright, so that will be the next floor up. So let's get some walls up. I should probably have been in hoverpack mode for most of this. Alright, let's get some space to set this up. So we need an assembler for versatile frameworks, which I guess can be like here. We need an assembler for electromagnetic control rods, which can be here. And we're doing this one. And that one. And then we need the boxes. So we have a box for modular frames. We have a box for steel beams. We have a box for stators and a box for high-speed connectors, and not in that order. In fact, in the opposite order. Now, do I have the summer sloops to sloop both of these? Yes, I do. Alright, so modular frames. There's 100. Stators. There's 200. High-speed connectors. There's more than 65. So let's get a power pole up. Turn these guys on. And then go grab the steel beams, I guess. So there's 400. And it's going to be fastest to just head over there and pick up the steel beams manually. There should be plenty in there. It's a very high capacity box. So there should be plenty of steel beams for me to pick up. It should be just a single trip, and I'll be able to check off versatile frameworks and ECR as both being done. Alright, steel beams. So I have 400 already, so that's 600, 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, 1,600, 1,800, 2,000, which is more than enough. And we are good to go on steel beams. Oh, I guess I should probably, instead of messing around with all this, I should be setting up the copper powder, because 10,000 of it. Yeah, so I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to skip to nuclear pasta. and then figure out the intermediary thing next. I'm going to probably make the nuclear pasta elsewhere and just drone it in, because there is no way I am transporting 10,000 copper powder via drone. That would be insane. Unless I have like spare copper lying around here, which I honestly probably do. This one is definitely not running at full capacity, so I might... And there's even a copper right there. So I can use that for the copper powder. Alright, so this all goes in there. And we need boxes to store these outputs in. And how long will this take? 16 a minute of those. I need 250, so that's hardly any time at all. 10 a minute. Alright. This is probably going to be worth some overcharging. I guess I'll overcharge this as well, just for the sake of it. I'll need to make that a Mark II belt. Alright, so these are both in production. Next up is copper powder. So we head over to this pure copper ore node, which is conveniently here. And I get rid of the thingamabob on top of it. And miner Mark III requires 3 of the stupid little things. I need to automate them at some point. It's probably like even too late to be worth it at this point, but whatever. Let's make a couple spare for drones. Let's get up to 10, I guess. 9, 10. Alright. Miner Mark III. That's going to be 480 copper a minute. Baseline. Copper powder is just ingots in a constructor. Alright. Let's set up a hefty smelter manifold. Now, I'm not going to be using the water-based recipe for this. And these are all going to need to be Mark IV belts, at least the first couple are. So it'll be easier to make them all. Then figure out exactly which belts are necessary. So it's 30. It's 30 per. So I have what? 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240. So this is like half of it. Alright, well, at least we have something, right? And then we power all of these guys on. Please say the actual recipe itself is relatively quick. Alright. Is this 1-to-1? Yes, it is. Alright. So we have copper ingots. We have 240 copper ingots. The copper powder recipe is 300 a minute to make 50 a minute. Jeez. Okay. Well, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. Yeah, that's a lot of copper powder needed. So let's get industrial storage container. Let's sloop it to make the ratio slightly better. And let's extend this manifold out even further to actually get full use of the node. You line up like that, and that, and that. I think that ought to be enough. And we just have to do the annoying part. Please, blueprints, tiling would be lovely. And we power them all on. Alright, are they all powered on? All but that one. Oh no, that is powered on, but didn't get the recipe for some reason. So now we head over to the other side. And we're going to make all of these belts Mark IV. Because this is definitely going to be using the full thing. Alright. So that is going to be 480 copper a minute, which means that this can even be overclocked. Not that much overclocked. Target production 100 maybe? No, that's too much. 80? Yes, 80 is the correct number we need. So 160 copper powder a minute. 10,000 divided by 160. Alright, that's actually not that terrible. Assuming I did the math right. That should get me the copper powder in like an hour. And that's running, and that's running. Oh, I'm gonna have to make the output belt fast enough to keep up, obviously. And this should stack pretty high, so a single industrial storage container should be enough. So let's mark that as done. And what's the nuclear pasta also requires pressure conversion cubes, which are easy. Alright, cool. So we just need... what do we need for this? We need 25 fused frames, 50 RCUs, so let's expand the production line out this way. Alright. And we just need an assembler. Give it a bit of space, just because it's for a completely different thing. And give it some boxes. Although it doesn't even need boxes, right? Pressure conversion cube. Need 25 fused frames and 50 RCUs. So let's get fused frame, RCU. Boom, boom, boom. Power it on. And output box. And overclock it as much as possible, but we are out of power shards. So let's head back. I have a constructor for power shards. I think I already have a sloop in here. Yes. So I can run that to refill on power shards. Meanwhile, all that stuff can be running in the background. And I can check that off. So now it is only one thing left. The only thing I have left to do is the hardest one, which requires 4 ingredients, and also, like, obviously final construction of all of the individual things. But hopefully the internal stuff will be finished soon. So we need to set this to power shards. Where's power shards? 5 recipe. Put the slugs in there. Alright. Now, let's see here. This is 100 and some. This is short on cables. Why? Is it just used all of them? I guess it does use them crazy fast. Yeah, it uses cables faster than they're being produced, I think. No, they should be at 150 a minute. Alright. Do I have any cables in the dimensional storage? Yes. Alright, what's going on over here? It's not outputting fat. Oh, I need to set right to actually accept cables. That's the problem. So I guess currently I have it set to write as overflow, which is wrong, but in a somewhat benign way. I guess I'll take these to make up for the absence. I'll take a manual trip. Boom. And that should get them like almost filled. I cannot wait until I can take some of this nonsense out. So the modular engines. Alright, so this is all done. So the last thing I need are, what is that one even called? Thermal propulsion rockets. And the only special thing it needs are modular engines, and it needs 313 of them. So let's get, I have caps lock on. So modular engines, I need 313 of, which means I need 313 motors. I need a cartoonish amount of rubber. What, 313 times 15 divided by 2? 313 times 15 divided by 2. 2,400 rubber. 347 rubber. And 313 smart plating. And the smart plating needs reinforced plates and rotors, but just like 100-ish of each. And so that will be 160 RP, 160 rotors. And I guess the only thing of there that I should be actively going out to grab is the rubber, because I need like 2,000 of it. Which means switching to jetpack, getting to a landing to accelerate speed. And now off we head. Alright, where's rubber? This isn't rubber. Gosh. Rubber is like over there somewhere, I think. I'm gonna have to land first. Alright, that's not rubber, that's something else. Rubber's like back here. No, wait, unless this is rubber? No, this is the turbo fuel. That's the turbo fuel plant. The rubber is going to be back here. So let's grab a huge amount of rubber. It's at this box. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Alright, that should be all the rubber I need. Now I just need to figure out where on Earth. Alright, the space elevator is this way. very conveniently quite tall and easy to find. So let's head on over there. Alright. Now we just need to get up to this floor. Where? Oh wait, no. We already had a modular engine set up down here. Yes. Alright, so I need to turn this off. Because I need to turn it off because it's not summer slooped, and it won't be summer slooped until later. But we should start loading the stuff in from the dimensional storage. And just to confirm, yes, production paused. Okay, now back here we have the smart plating. Pause that as well. And reinforced plates. And rotors. Alright, so that's that. How is this going? Actually, is this outproducing? That's producing 12.5 a minute. This is consuming 12.5 a minute. So the automated wiring should actually be stable. Which means the only question is, how many of this do I have? 170-ish. Alright, that's nowhere close. Supercomputers are already done, of course. Head up here. This is more than enough electromagnetic control rods. So I can take that down. This is making the pressure conversion cubes, and it's halfway there already. This is making versatile framework, and 100, 200, 300, 400. Oh, right, it's short of modular frames because I needed to pull more out of dimensional storage. So now that I have 2 summer sloops, that's enough to start the smart plating production. And accelerate it. And then that is the only missing piece here. This is going at 5 a minute. No way to reasonably accelerate it without more summer sloops. I already have 180. Actually, do I have... What are these? Adaptive control units? No, I just have one. Well, you can go in there. So I have 190 of those. I need 500. So 500 minus 190 is 310. 310 divided by 5. Alright, so we got an hour left on that. As far as the versatile frameworks, we need 310. So we need 5 per... It's just going to be easier to check the input. So we're like halfway through the stators, I guess. And the cables are impossible to tell because they're just going to keep coming, but that'll be nice once that's done. If we hop up here, the pressure conversion cube is up to 39 out of 50. And versatile frameworks probably need another stack of modular frames. Probably too many. How many versatile frameworks do we have? 100, 200, 300, 400, 400, 450, 460. Alright, it's all coming along. I wish I had more summer sloops, but this is what we're stuck with at the moment. Let's start a hard drive scan. Plastic smart plating seems pointless, right? Yeah, I mean, it's like adds 3 plastic to make it more efficient, but I don't really need it to be more efficient, and making plenty as it is. How's this going? Oh, that's not a fast enough belt. So we make that belt faster. All of this will go. Yeah, this is only going at 56% speed. Still producing some of those. Alright, pressure conversion cubes are at 45. Make that a little bit quicker. Radio control unit. Did I put in like one too few radio control units? Probably not. I'm just going to assume that that is going to work. Alright, so yeah, we have 47 of those. We're going to get another... I actually think there might not be enough radio control units in there. I'll put like another 2 in, I guess. Yeah, because this is going to have us stuck at 49, which is 1 short. But this will finish in just a couple seconds. And cool, so now we can take all this stuff out. And we have 50 of those. So now with that done, we can run down here. Oh no, this needs 4. That's a lot more. So we need 313 smart plating, which means we have like 12, like another 10 there, like we have like 50 smart plating. Yikes. And that can't really go any faster. That can't go any faster and is still cooking. Alright. That's like 200 and some. Well, this is all going to be cooking for a while, so I guess I will go on another hard drive hunting. And honestly, summer sloop hunting. Like, if I can find summer sloops, that'll make everything much, much quicker. So let's place the coffee cup with the summer sloop detector. Let's pull up Satisfactory interactive map. Plop my most recent save game in there. And options, reveal all map. Alright, so there's a lot of hard drives in the very northeast of the map. And we're going to try to pick up some summer sloops while we're at it. Because just like another couple of summer sloops would really do the job. Yeah, and the problem is, like, all of this production that we're doing here, this isn't even like the final stage of production. We still have to actually make the things. This is just getting the things immediately before them. I said the word things a lot there. That wasn't ideal speaking. Alright, I need to land somewhere, pull up the map, and figure out where hard drive. Alright, I'm like there. So there's one like there. There's one like there. So yeah, let's just head pretty much due east of this. Keep the summer sloop scanner up, because it is important to get those if we end up near one. Is that it down there? No, I think that must be one that I've... Yeah, there are a couple that I've already grabbed in this area. It'll be like there. Alright, so off we go. I've grabbed this one. So I'm not gonna fight the giant hog just to confirm that I've already grabbed it, because I have already grabbed it. We have also entered the radius of a summer sloop. What was that? Was I swimming there? Was there like a waterfall or something? Alright, the summer sloop is underneath here. Alright, summer sloop, reveal yourself. Oh, there's a Mercer sphere. That's not a summer sloop, though. I'll grab it, but... Alright, let's just kill this guy. Imagine using a rifle. Couldn't be me. Alright, well, I'll grab this Mercer sphere. Yoink. And summer sloop is... I'm further from it now than I was when I was up there. Huh? Alright, summer sloop, please. Please just be obvious. It'd be so much more convenient if you were obvious. Ooh, that's not a good place to be. Let's move on from that. Is it... Is there a cave in here? I bet there's a cave in here or something. Not there. I wish I knew where this summer sloop that is allegedly right here was. Is it literally like in those vents or something? I'm not understanding. But it's definitely closer to the top of this than the bottom. So let's try... Ooh, another Mercer Sphere. Grab that. Just fight for it real quick. Ooh, I missed. Alright, easy enough. Now the Mercer Sphere. Ooh, and RAM analysis finished. Put a new one in. And this area is apparently slightly radioactive, so I'll move on. What? Now, what on earth is going on with this summer sloop? So it's closer to being up here than it is to being down there. Something is trying to attack me. It sounds like a spider. But it's not acting like a spider. Alright, the spider has showed up. Please. Alright. Got it right up on takeoff. It's pretty good. Now, where... You would think, like, maybe the spider came from inside of a cave or something. Ooh, a hard drive. I think this is the hard drive that I was in this area to get. So I'll shoot you a couple times. Ooh, that hit me for a lot. Alright. That one's dead. That one seems to be, like, running for some reason. What if I get a couple snipes off on it? Easy peasy. I'll hop in, use some fuse frames to get the hard drive. And, alright. There is another one here, so I'm just going to move on. The next hard drive is going to be down south slightly. So we couldn't find that last summer sloop, but there's a new one here. There's also a Mercer Sphere. Alright, let's grab the Mercer Sphere. Alright, this summer sloop is over this way. Probably just up on top of this pillar. That's where they like to be. Stand here, recover fuel, and get the rest of the way up. Boop, 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 Ooh, yep, there it is. Beautiful. So we'll grab that. Now, where was this hard drive that I was looking for? Oh, there's another summer sloop on the scanner, and another Mercer sphere in view. This one seems to be only guarded by hatchers, so I can be very sneaky and just hold C, and the hatchers can't hurt. Alright, that one, those hatchers are all over there. How did I lose sight of a Mercer sphere that was 15 feet away from me? I'm just going to continue holding C, grab the Mercer sphere. And the summer sloop is apparently this way. Oh. I flew over it. Please. Why are summer sloops so hard to find? Why can't they just be out in the open? Alright, surely there's a cave entrance. Yes, cave found. Yeet. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Alright. A bunch of smaller spitters. Could be a bit annoying. One down. Two down. Fortunately, the tiny guys are incredibly squishy. Bro has the jukes. Bro has the jukes. Holy. Alright, got him. And let's... Alright, summer sloop found. There's a middle hog. So I'm just going to shoot you a couple of times while you try to pathfind to me, which is probably going to be difficult. Yep, alright, cool. And that's another summer sloop, which is enormous. So, let's check. Yep, alright. Oh, there's another one this way. Apparently, yeah, there's another one that way. Let's try to find it. I know we're probably also looking for hard drives here, but summer sloops are the priority. We need... Like, you can never have too many summer sloops. Now, I'm just going to assume that there's like a cave behind this waterfall. Apparently not. Oh wait, yes? Yes. Now, if I were a summer sloop, I would be right here. Ooh, I picked up some wood accidentally. My poor inventory space. Alright, summer sloop acquired. And then this lets out into just another random boring waterfall. Alright, so if I'm here, then there's one just like barely north of me. There's a hard drive. And we are also getting into the eastern starter area. So we should expect relatively easy challenges around here. Yes, here it is. This one is just straight up unguarded. Needs screws. Wait, it needs screws. Alright, that is rude because I do not have screw automations, so let's just manually craft some screws. And I had like 300 screws in my inventory for no apparent reason, and I got rid of them because there's no use for screws. I guess I shouldn't have done that. Alright, so if we head up further, there are more hard drives like along the northern edge of this mountain range. Oh, and a summer sloop as well. Probably up on top of that pillar. They do like to be up there. Alright. Need to ascend. And descend. And ascend some more. And some more. Alright. Summer sloop is apparently... Ah, it's right down here in this uranium. Let me grab that. Alright, something hostile has seen me. Oh, boy. Well, that wasn't fun. Alright, there's another summer sloop up here. Apparently. Where? Ooh, a hard drive. This looks like the sort of thing I wouldn't have gotten already. Alright. That uranium node is messing with him a lot. This poor guy's pathfinding is really struggling here. You love to see it. Just pile on the damage. He is tanky, though. Alright, that's that sorted. Now we just have to grab high-speed connectors and not waste too much time in here because of the radiation. Alright, and then there should be another one, like, even further north of this. Like, around where that summer sloop allegedly is, if I can find it. Oh, there's a Mercer sphere and the hard drive. Alright. I would love to be able to bring down this. Okay, nope, I need to move fast. What? Oh, did he get friendly fired by that guy trying to shoot me? That's actually lovely. So just need to keep on moving relatively quickly while apparently just being a terrible shot. I think I've missed every shot I've fired against this guy. What is going on? Alright, I hit him. You're cooked. I got another shot in. And there's another one. Alright. Now we clear these guys out by tanking a couple of them to the face. And Mercer sphere. And the hard drive was like just down here. Unguarded. And free. Alright. Now then, where is this summer sloop? Where is this summer sloop? It should be very close to me here. It's probably going to be in a stupid... Yeah, okay, here it is. In this tiny little lodge here. Summer sloop acquired. Alright, I'm going to grab one more summer sloop. I'm going to grab one more summer sloop and then head back, because 8 summer sloops is enough to probably set up a pretty significant amount of things. So it should be down here. Yeah, literally just like randomly by the edge of the water for no apparent reason. Let's kill this while crouching so they're defenseless. Hatchers are incredibly exploitable like that. And grab the summer sloop. And now we head back, which is going to involve gaining some height, and then, well, I guess if you're going to twist my arm about it, I'll grab another Mercer Sphere. Alright. Mercer Sphere, we're up to 25, which means I should be able to buy some upgrades to the dimensional storage. In fact, one more, and I think I'm able to buy both of the next tier upgrades. Oh, there's one. I'm just stumbling upon these things here. Please say there isn't any horrible monster. It is not. I'm trying to head west, but these canyons are not particularly cooperating. Is this a hard drive I've already visited? Yes. Alright. I am really not making progress to the west here. This giant cliff is making it somewhat difficult, but I am gaining altitude. Ooh, a cave. Did I check this cave already? Looks like it. Yep. There's some spitter remains. So I have checked this cave already, so I will leave. Right. Is that a ledge I can stand on? No. It's not. Let's get up here. And finally we can turn west towards the space elevator. Up we go. And we keep on moving. Now we're going to be backtracking a lot, so lots of stuff we've already seen here. Man, I grabbed 2 leaves and a wood and not the berry that I wanted to grab. That's annoying. But let's make it back. See how production is going. Alright. That's the quartz production line over there. I guess I'll bring out the summer sloop scanner, but I'm not really interested in using it at the moment. Alright, we've managed to land, recover our fuel. Speaking of which, we're down to 14, which means I'm going to want to... What is this? I have no idea what that's for, but I assume it. I don't remember what requires quartz and reinforced plates. Oh, is that just the? It's probably the crystal oscillators. All right, let's head on over. We are almost there. I can see it. I mean, you can always see it because it's the space elevator. You can always see it in the distance, but now I can see non-space elevator things in the distance. Alright. We are so back. Now let's take a look. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 650 versatile frameworks. Done. That was already done. What was this? The cubes was already done. How is our copper powder going? Pretty terribly. It is at least up to 100%. So that's nice. Now we can hop down here, take a look at these. Wire is of course breaking even. Adaptive control units are 250 out of 500. God, they're only halfway there. That's brutal. Alright, well, those get to keep running. Smart plating is 100, 200, 310-ish. Alright. Wait, no, don't. I think I may have messed that up a little bit, but whatever. Need to throw more motors in here. And it is slooped, right? Yes. And I need a bunch of them, so we will overcharge it like so. So this is like either finished or almost finished. I'll let it run for a little bit longer, but probably gonna cut it out soon. Alright, I'm gonna assume that that's done. 200, 250, almost 300 there. Obviously, yeah. So I'm gonna assume that that is done. It can continue to run without slooping, I guess. Not really wasting resources. This is just trudging along as slowly as expected. Alright. So, what we need to do now is start oh gosh, what was I thinking? We need to start actually doing the production lines for the final products. So this is versatile framework. That's ECR, so we will put some foundations there. Is this just an assembler? And magnetic field generator. Boop. Boop. Summer sloop it up. Turn it on. Overclock it. And that will be 5 per minute, so that'll be like an hour and a half. Yikes. Alright, and the next thing we needed was these two things, also just in a regular old assembler for assembly directory systems, which is also apparently going to take like a month. And we sloop it, and we overclock it. 3.75 a minute. 500 divided by 3.75 is like 2 hours. Alright. Well, again, the important thing is that we have it started. And actually, do we need a storage container for these? These are just going to be going into the actual thing. I don't know. It's probably fine to put them in storage containers. just in case they have like a super low stack size or something. Alright, then the next thing, and the biggest undertaking, is going to be the, what are they called? The third thing in the list, which requires a manufacturer, and also the output from this machine, which is already like uncomfortably close to the space elevator as it is. Alright. So that goes in there. This thermal propulsion rocket. And the last summer sloops can go in there. How fast is this production? Actually pretty quick. At full juice it's 5 a minute, and it requires less than the others. Alright, well, no point letting those back up. And then we need 3 more boxes for the other things, which I guess we will stack them vertically like that. So this, so we need turbo motors, cooling systems, and fused frames. So we have 125 turbo motors. We have not quite enough cooling systems. We're going to have to wait on those. Not quite enough fused frames. We're going to have to wait on those. But by waiting on those, they probably... So we need 375 cooling systems, so that's 300. We need 125 fused frames, so that's 125. And grab some more cooling systems, but I guess the important thing is going to be getting these down somehow. What if you... Okay, wait. Alright, so that can go like there, and then back, and then in, and that's the steepest one. So these other two can just go in like that. And then we just need to throw a couple more cooling systems in. And that should be that all sorted. Thank you, turbo motors, for your very, very cool path to the to the thing. And this is using 6.25 engines a minute. This is producing 5, so it won't go at 100% speed. But that's fine. I'll throw those 19 that I randomly have in my inventory in. And that is the annoying complicated one set up. That's that one set up. The top one is set up. Now the only thing left is nuclear pasta, which is terrifying because power. Let's hop on over here and place down a particle accelerator. 500 to 1500 megawatts, 1000 megawatt average. How much power do we have access to? So if it's just that, then consumption is... Yeah, so that's fine actually. Even max consumption isn't a problem like that. And how much... 100 a minute copper. So let's just take this. Make it Mark II belts. And snake around probably on the edge here. Or no, they can just sneak around like that. And the rest of the way. And in. And then we take, this is the one with the conversion cubes. So these can come back. There's no reason to have these on belts, but it looks cool. So that's a reason. And by cool, I mean it looks spaghetti. Alright. You need to come back here, and then down and in. And nuclear pasta is officially being produced. Wait, no, stop. Right, so I do actually need some summer sloops for this. Otherwise, it's going to take even more copper powder. So that's 0.5 per minute. So doubled will be 1 a minute. And add all the overcharge on, and it's going to be hilariously power intensive, but should only take like half an hour. So in the meantime, let's take these things down to actually just pipe them into the space elevator. Alright. Then you come down to the ground level and in. Speaking of ground level, this ground level is basically just not used. This manufacturer is the thermal propulsion. And it's close. It might be too close. It is too close. Alright, so that is going to have to loop around that way. And then down again. Alright, no, that doesn't even work. Down and in like that. I think I picked some up, which I will put in now. Alright, so that's 2. The third one is... So that's 2. The third one is up here. It's this... No, I have this one. The third one is this one. And it needs to come along back here. And then down onto the foundation. And then in. And it's going to take a while for all of these. I think this one is going to be the quickest, though. It's 5 a minute for 250. This one's 3.75 a minute for 500. And this one is 5 a minute for 500. So if I had 4 more summer sloops, which I might, $100, $200, $300, some, or like 350 of those. Modular engines, not anywhere near done production. Alright, I do not believe I have any spare summer sloops just lying about. Not here anyway. Actually, I do know of a location with spare summer sloops. The turbo motor factory, I believe, is slooped. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I slooped the turbo motor factory and didn't take them out. Which should give me the ability to turn on nuclear pasta. So it's going to be a bit of a journey. Okay, wait, there's also one sloop in here. Gosh. I'm trying to remember every single place I've ever put a summer sloop to remember if they're still in there. So we're going to head down to the turbo motor factory, and hopefully I remember correctly, and there are summer sloops down there that I can just pick up and bring back. I don't really need double turbo motor production, but I do need to be able to turn on my nuclear pasta. And hopefully the power situation should be fine. I mean, it's only 1,000 megawatts. That's not that many. I have several thousand to spare, so it should be fine. And if not, well, that's what batteries are for. If not, that's what batteries and underclocking are for, I guess. It's nice seeing the numbers tick up. Just every so often, ping, you get another one. Alright, we're in there. On to the next one. Alright. I guess while we're over here, we can do a quick investigation of the turbo motor factory, because it is the most recent factory I've built. So it's most likely to have some critical flaw that makes it not work. And off we go. We are zipping through this hypertube now. Through some random radiation. I love that on my hypertube route. Down and up and over and down and down. And we are just about there. Alright, so if I remember correctly, the turbo motor production was... Oh, please. Let me up. Alright, so that is this floor up here. And over here. Yes. Take those summer sloops and then immediately turn around and head right back in to the hypertube And I can use these to turn on the nuclear pasta production. Where's the hypertube? There it is. I'm gonna have to pass by these hatchers real quick. Don't mind me. Also, I need to grab more rocket fuel. Can you do... No, you cannot do anything while in a hypertube. Alright. Well, off we travel. Now we're heading up an incline, so the hypertube is a little bit slow. I really wish that hypertubes just worked independent of gravity. That would be way more convenient. But we're just gonna have to make the journey as it is. Alright. Now we get to go up another hill. Gosh, it's crazy how like the elevation difference is between like just that short area. It's just constantly uphill. This is a bit downhill. Let's pick up some speed. Go through the radiation. Clip through the floor a little bit. Clip through a plant a little bit. And loop around this factory. Keep on going. Up a steep cliff. Up another steep cliff. Alright, so the numbers are going up ever so slowly in the top right of the screen. And when I say ever so slowly, boy, it is pretty slow. But once we turn on the nuclear pasta, there will be even another number that is slowly ticking up. So that's exciting. You can look forward to that. Alright, so this is the halfway point, which we just carry the momentum through to the next hypertube. And zip off towards the main base. Alright. We're getting there, we're getting there. No, Mr. Bean! Well, we have gone straight through Mr. Bean. It's interesting that they will just do that. I wouldn't recommend bisecting yourself on a hypertube. It seems like Mr. Bean doesn't mind. Alright. And we're back at the main base. Let's stop on a man real quick to get hard drives working. Flexible framework is rubber for less steel. Not super interesting to me. But now we can head over here. And on you go. Maximum power. And these are Mark II belts, which means they do... Oh, they're not going to move fast enough for the maximum overclocked. Let's make them Mark III. Alright. So that's producing 160 a minute. So it won't be able to fully keep up, but there's a decent sized backlog anyway. Gosh, even maximum overcharge lasts 120 seconds. Oh no, maximum overcharge is 40 seconds. So this is between 1,000 and 5,000. So let's check a power pole. It's certainly gonna... Yeah, okay, so max capacity is well over our production. Actual consumption is still below, but climbing somewhat unnervingly. How much spare power storage do we have? 'Cause I think this is going to go over. Why is it spiked so much right there? What just turned on? I mean, the... Goodness gracious. Alright, well, we can't manage that for long at all. But we are making nuclear pasta. It's between 6K and 20K. Alright, you slow down. You slow down to regular speed. Now it's between 2 and 6K. And the power pole says that's, like, probably fine. It spends some time charging. So it is oscillating around how much power we can produce. Definitely a bit disquieting. It seems to be spending a significant portion of time under production capacity. And I don't know, I mean, it's up to like 4K. Can I just get a power pole over here so I can look at it? Alright. So at 5K, that's most of the way up. We're still outproducing it. We're not going to outproduce it at the full 6K. So if it continues scaling up, you should see we're still outproducing it, and it's going to drop soon. Yeah. And it drops. So, in theory, this is fine. It scales up to just barely at our production and then drops. So it's, at least without the overcharging, it stays under our max production at all times. Now we just need to bring this over and find a nice little spot on the other side of the space elevator to bring the nuclear pasta. And then you go down there and in. Alright. And just like that, we have nuclear pasta heading for the space elevator. They come in batches of 2. Boy, I really do not like the sounds this makes, or the fact that it gets so close to the fact that it gets so close to max capacity. We're going to have to, first thing, next phase, I guess, will be to upgrade power production to rocket fuel. We are currently using just regular old fuel for all of this, which is kind of crazy. So we're gonna have to get nitrogen in. Let's take a look. Actually, rocket fuel recipe. So we could add nitric acid to turbo fuel, or we could add nitrogen, sulfur, and coal to regular fuel. And let's see the ratios. So in this ratio, it's 4 to 6 regular fuel to rocket fuel. So I can close all of these because I have everything all set up. So nitro rocket fuel is 4 fuel to 6 turbo fuel. Well, let's see, 4 fuel, 4 sulfur, 3 nitro, 2 coal to 6 rocket fuel. And then base recipe I'm going to need to check is 6 to 10, 6 turbo, 1 nitro acid, 10 rocket, 1 cc. I should mark that down. 1 cc there. So, turbo fuel recipes are like 6 to 5 and 4. I don't know, I shouldn't be doing this manually when I could just as easily plug the numbers into Satisfactory tools. Doesn't really make sense. So let's do that, shall we? Rocket fuel. Alright, what if I say all alternate recipes? Because I have basically all of them. So it wants 660 crude oil, 380 sulfur, like 15 iron, and like 640 nitrogen gas to 1600 rocket fuel, which is, you know, a lot of rocket fuel. That'll fuel way more than my current thing does. But 640 nitrogen gas, that's a lot. That's more than a full pipe. So I assume that's what this is going to be for. We still have a lot of nodes down there that I haven't used. So and there's also sulfur. A pure node is going to be, that's going to be more than enough sulfur. Where's the coal actually? What witchcraft are we using to not do coal? Oh, the coal just works? What? Sulfur. Alright, I don't understand, but based on this recipe, I apparently just don't need coal. So that's pretty cool. Alright, let's head down there. We're just heading back and forth between the same couple of locations because that's where the turbo fuel plant is as well. And I'm not actually sure if I have officially unlocked all of the hard drive recipes for this. None of these are relevant. I don't know. Let's hop in the hypertube and then we can think about this on the way down. So we can at least get started, like planning it out, figuring out where exactly we're going to put the factory, and like maybe even dragging some resources in. And we only have like half an hour left in the stream today. I think I will probably AFK for the completion of the project parts, because there's just like, I don't know, pulling the lever is interesting and satisfying and something you want to be on stream, but actually just waiting like an hour and a half for everything to finish, not so much. So let's head over. This is going to be really like our first large-scale factory in quite a while. The last we've only been producing like a couple things here, a couple, like 1 or 2 a minute here, 1 or 2 a minute. No, we're making almost certainly more than 1,000 rocket fuel a minute with this plan. Although, and probably like possibly even multiple thousand. I'm gonna have to. Well, really, what I'm going to be doing now in this last half hour is just figuring out what the bottleneck is. Whether it's oil or nitrogen. It's probably not sulfur, but it could be. I'm still not sure how this recipe gets away with no coal. I guess turbo blend fuel can use petroleum coke, and that's the trick. Alright, through the radiation spike. And off to the blue crater. We are almost there. You can tell because we are rapidly heading down. Alright. We are officially here. Alright, so first thing we need to do is figure out how much of the various resources we have available. So that's sulfur, crude oil, iron is, I mean, we need like 10 of it. Iron's not going to be a problem. This one node will be enough. First, let's go check. I guess this crude oil over here will be the closest. And it's going to be... Did I head the wrong way? I feel like I headed the wrong way. No, I didn't. It's literally right here. Crude oil, crude oil, crude oil. Where are you? There's one. So there are a couple patches of crude oil here. And also a bunch of enemies, which are going to need to be killed. Please leave me alone. Alright, get rid of... Alright, so that's that cleared. Now let's see here. We've got a normal. And we've got a pure over there. So that's 100 some. Right, these guys are still hanging around. Oh, and alright, so this is impure, so it's 60. Alright, let's do the math. That's 60. So we have one impure, one normal, one pure, two pure, two normal, two pure, one impure, two normal. So it's 1, 2, 3 pure, 1, 2 normal, 1 impure. So it's 240 times 2, no, times 3, plus 120 times 2 plus 60 is 1,020. 1,020 times 3 is 3,060. Alright, let's see. Maximize. Wait, no. So 3,060 is going to be like 5 times as much as I have calced here. So let's try setting that to like 8,000. Alright, that's approximately, let's scale it down a little bit to like 7,500. Alright, 3,060 produces like 7,400-ish rocket fuel. And in order for that to work, we're going to need 1,700 sulfur and almost 3,000 nitrogen. So, next up, yeah, and like, by the way, like 70 iron, by the way, almost nothing. So let's then head back down to the nitrogen and see if we can get almost 3,000 nitrogen. Alright, nitrogen is this. We are already using some. We are already using some nitrogen, which is a bit of an obstacle, but I think we're using like 100 or 200. We'll see how much nitrogen is available. Oh, and refuel the turbo fuel. Alright, it'll be a while before we have to worry about that again. Alright. Now we have this thing, which is, let's see. Alright, what if we just connect all the extractors? Boom. 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 Is that all of them? Yeah, so all the extractors. So pure is 120. So it's 120, 240, 360, 480. Normal is going to be like 60. Where's the normal ones? Alright, normal is 60. So we have resource well potential 600. Now if I overcharge it, we're gonna have 1500 nitrogen. So that means nitrogen is going to be the bottleneck, which is awkward because we're already using some of it. Let's not actually do that. MAM research is finished. Let's send another one through. Alright, so we have like 1500 nitrogen. Actually, I wonder if maximize mode is going to be easier. So we set crude oil to 3060. We set nitrogen to 1500. And we assume the rest of it just works. Alright, sulfur is going to be 1125, which there are a couple sulfur patches over here, and we have Mark III miners, so it should probably be fine. Where exactly are they? Around a little puddle over here. Now there is another nitrogen patch like on the other side of this, which I could grab, I guess. Speaking of things I could grab, yoink? Nope. Too slow, not worth it. Alright, where is this nitrogen patch? It's up on this ledge, back this way. By some geysers. Please. Please let me accumulate momentum. Alright, there's the sulfur, there are the geysers. So we have production, miner Mark III, miner Mark III. So a normal miner Mark III is 240. An impure miner Mark III is 120. And then this was the pure one. There's a hatcher over there. Let me shoot it real quick. Please. Alright. Let me also shoot this one. Alright. And there's a spitter here apparently. Just hanging out. Die. Grab some bacon. And make some more portable miners, because you always need portable miners. Yep, they caught up to me. It's more convenient just to tank them and not worry about it. Health will regen. Alright. Production. Miner Mark III. So we have 480. I can't... Math isn't mathing, but 480 times 3 is a lot. More than 1100. So, yeah, nitrogen is the bottleneck. While we're standing here, and while we were just barely scraping by in terms of production, let's smack a couple of generators down. Is it only just those two? Yes. Alright. And then we can bring their power onto the grid. So that'll help a little bit. Alright, so now we need to figure out how much nitrogen is being used here exactly, because that will determine the bottleneck and determines how much power we can produce. Alright, so here is a nitrogen pipe. If I remember, it kind of meanders, not really connecting to anything until it reaches this blender. 125 a minute. And just confirm it doesn't connect to anything else. Yeah, okay, so it does not connect to anything else. So just 125 a minute there. Which means our nitrogen limit is actually 1375. Which is marginally slower. We're still going to get 3,400 rocket fuel. And some compacted coal, which we can't do anything with, but... Alright. So let's... I guess just start getting these resources, because we're going to need to transport a huge amount of crude oil and nitrogen in. So the alternative is this nitrogen is kind of far away, but it does have another 4 pure nodes, and it would, if I were to bring that all the way over here, that would help out a lot. I don't know. Seems like a lot of work. Should be extreme overkill anyway. I mean, the main obstacle here is going to be getting these guys all into correct tubes. Alright, so you are cranked up to max capacity. So that's 150, that's 300. Alright, so pures are 300, normals are 150, which actually works out pretty nicely for Mark II pipes. So this one has a pure and a normal. So if we hook a second normal up, and then made all of this pipeline Mark II, then that would be exactly full. So that's 600 there. Then these are both pure. So they are... Huh? What? Huh? Did I do the math wrong? Okay, what if I hook you up to a pipe so that you have to actually produce some nitrogen? Maybe you're just doing the math wrong because you weren't overcharged last time you did the math. So you're 300. Yes. So these two then make up a pipe for another 600. And then this one will be a tier 1 pipe for another 300. And we have 600, 1200, 1500. And that matches up. So these 3 pipes can transport the entirety of this thing's output. Now we just need to mark. There's no reason to use tier 1 pipes for this one. I guess just to mark that it's the different one. We are going to need to make this entire pipeline Mark II. Another man is finished. That's fun. Alright. We should set up the MAM. Some recipes that I don't need. Alright, and then these can come alongside. And down there. Alright. This pipeline, I'm not even entirely sure where the factory is going to be built. Probably just over here on this side of the pond by the oil, since it is a fluid and is therefore more annoying to move about. And by fluid there I mean liquid, of course. Nitrogen gas is a fluid, but it's very convenient because it just works. And let's see, we need to upgrade. Upgrade. And now we're branching off. Alright, let's head along there. Gosh, this is a bit of a trek. Down onto the beach. Once we get this pipeline over there, we're going to end the stream, I think. Running low on copper sheets. Well, that is another very good reason to stop here for now. Alright, so we're out of copper sheets, so there's, like, we could continue, but it'll take ages to make any progress like that. So instead, let's just do a quick inspection of the turbo motor factory. I said I was going to do this earlier. I forgot. So we'll start the inspection, of course, at the most important place to start the inspection, which is the end. 100%. Cool. Motors appear to be running 100% as well. Alright, now we should check the other intermediaries. Are computers running at 100%? Yes. Is whatever this is running at 100%? Yes. Crystal oscillators. Is this running at 100%? Yes. And cooling systems are running at 100%, of course, because that's just this thing down here. Alright, everything seems to be running at 100% here, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, so now that I have those stupid geysers, the power capacity is no longer a nice clean line. So that's a reason not to have geysers. They make your power capacity look ugly. But yeah, so our inspection has been completed, and I see no problems here. Everything seems to be working great. So with that, I think this is a good spot to end the stream. Next stream, we are going to head back up to the hub. We are going to pull the lever, complete phase 4 officially, and then return back here to finish that giant pipeline and build our brand new fancy power system, which should probably carry us until the end of the game, hopefully. So yeah, make sure to stay tuned for that. That'll be on Monday. Make sure to follow if you haven't.